up, guys? I'm Cassie from Anchored by Books, and today I'm going to do a review of a really amazing book that I read called The Loose Ends List by Carrie Firestone. So this book is a YA contemporary about a girl named Maddie who is in her summer after she graduates high school before she goes to college, and she is given the news that her grandmother has cancer. And that during this summer break, her grandmother is paying for her entire family to go on this 8-week cruise on the Wish Well. Now the interesting thing about the Wish Well is that at the end of the cruise, her grandmother won't be going home with them. The best way I can describe this is kind of like assisted suicide. Like, I live in the state of Oregon and we have this thing called assisted suicide. So if you have like a terminal illness, a doctor can help aid you through death is the best way I could describe it. So you go into this book knowing that her grandmother is going to die, but it is full of so much laughter and heartache. It's full of both things, but honestly mostly laughter. This book is hysterical. This book really made me smile as well as shed tears. I really loved that this book was so character driven. The way that Maddie and her family interacted just seemed so real and genuine to me. Like, I feel like this is how my family reacts. This is how my family talk on a day-to-day basis. It was so real. It wasn't this fake mumbo jumbo. It was straight to the point. Like, let's talk about periods. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about all these things that are so you just don't talk about, I feel like, in normal YA books. And some of the family members, I think there was 2 family members that didn't go on the cruise because they didn't want to support what their grandmother was doing, which I feel like is a very real situation. Not everyone's going to agree with this whole go on this cruise and at the end of it you're going to die kind of thing. Not everyone agrees with that, and that's completely fine. I don't know, I just loved how the relationships between the characters all felt so incredibly real. Another thing I really appreciated about this book is that there was a love interest, but it wasn't like an insta-love kind of thing. It was more of like an insta-crush kind of thing, if that makes any sense at all. I feel like in most YA books, they see someone and they instantly know that they're in love with this person, but in this book, it was different. It was more of, I saw this really cute guy. He's really cute. I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this guy all of a sudden. It was a very real kind of, wow, that guy's cute. Makes me kind of nervous. And that, I don't know, I just felt like that was so genuine and real. I have had, in my personal life, I have dealt with a lot of death, and the way this book dealt with death, I felt like was very real. Like, one minute someone's alive and the next they're gone, and that's kind of how this book handled it in a certain way. Like, dealing with the death of the grandmother, one second she was there and one second she's not, and that's how it is in real life. One second you have your loved one and the next they're gone. On this cruise there are, I think, 5 or 6 other patients who also bring their families, and at the end of the cruise plan to do the same exact thing and end their lives because of whatever disease they're dealing with. And you get attached to those characters, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart. I was sitting at work right as I was on my lunch break when I finished this book, and at the end of it I just had to like take a second because I was literally sobbing. But the thing I love about this book most, the whole point of this cruise is to spend as much time with your family, with your grandmother, before she passes. Enjoy being alive. This book showed the characters how to live their lives, how to feel more alive, even though at the end, people die. And you know that from the beginning of the book, so that's not some sort of spoiler alert or anything. You know people are going to die, but this book teaches you how to live. And that's what I respected the most out of it, is that people die, but it's okay to continue to live your life. Is it hard? It's definitely hard. It's not an easy thing, but that's what your family is for, is to grasp on to, for support, for love, to let you know that everything's going to be okay. And this book really focused on that, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. They had this thing in this book they called snow globe moments. I absolutely loved that. Like, I feel like I want to use that in my real life. For example, like when the sun comes up and it's absolutely beautiful, and you know, like, take a picture, but they call it their snow globe moments. Like, anything that they want to remember forever, a really happy moment in their life, they're called snow globe moments. And at the end of the book, when Maddie's brother does something at the end of the book that surprises everyone, and as it was explaining kind of what was happening during that scene, I was bawling because I love how the snow globe moments all kind of, they came in together into one thing. Usually when I read a book, I can find some flaws in it. This book was flawless in my opinion. I absolutely love the writing style. It just flowed so easily, like butter. I loved how the characters interacted with each other. I love that this did deal with death, but in a very real way. This book left me absolutely speechless. And this author, I will buy anything that she puts out because this book was so phenomenal, and I don't know why it's not out in BookTube more often. It's a pretty new book, but please, if I'm not a contemporary person, and this book has just completely stuck with me as one of my favorite books of the year. 5 out of 5 stars. I adored it. Maddie, Enzo, Jeb, her uncles, her mom, her dad, all the patients, Graham. They're characters that are gonna stick with me. I feel like this is my family. I got so attached to them, and I was sad when I finished it, but I loved every single second of it. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, 10,000 out of 5 stars. I adored this book so much. And I loved how throughout the book you learn more about her other family members that have passed away, like her grandpa passed away, and he still has a portion of the story, and I can't put this book into words because I love it that much, and I'm that speechless. I'm just like, bleh, so good, bleh. How do I make words for this, bleh. It was just phenomenal. I think this is more of a book talk than it is a book review, so I think I'm gonna call this a book talk. Sometimes you just need to talk about a book just to get out your feelings, and that's what I feel like I needed to do with this. I feel like this is all over the place, but that's just how my brain is, just boop, 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 boop. My brain is always all over the place. So that is my book talk on this book. If you like contemporaries, please pick this one up. If you don't like contemporaries, pick this one up. It is stellar. That is it for this video, guys. If you like this video, do not forget to hit that thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time. Bye!